You are sitting in a room. Someone just threw a subtle insult disguised as a joke, and everyone is watching to see if you bleed. Today, I will give you the exact psychological mechanism to freeze that room and take total control. But if you keep nervously laughing it off to keep the peace, you will permanently cement yourself as the group's prey. You think you are being authentic by showing your emotions. You think you are being honest by reacting immediately. And that is exactly why you keep losing. Every single time. The brain hates uncertainty. Right now, you are wondering if this is just another video telling you to be confident. It is not. I am going to hand you a tactical, step-by-step method to dismantle manipulation in real time. Look at the dynamic. When your boss subtly undermines your work, or your partner twists your words, what do? You defend. You explain. You fire blindly into the dark. You are operating in a fog of war. They blow the smoke, and you get lost in it. In this video, we are going to clear the smoke. I will show you how to map the battlefield, locate their exact psychological coordinates, and disarm them without raising your voice. By the end of this, you will have a specific phrase that forces anyone trying to manipulate you to instantly back down. But first, we have to look at the trap you step into every single day. The illusion of the battlefield. You walk into every interaction thinking it is about the words being said. It is not. You think it is about logic, facts, who is right and who is wrong. It is not. Every conversation, every meeting, every argument is actually about one thing: who controls the frame. The frame is the invisible radar system of the interaction. It dictates who has visibility, who has power, and who is on the defensive. Most people do not even know the frame exists. They just react to whatever coordinates someone else has set. Why do you do that? Why do you accept the premise of an attack just because someone launched it? Here is your first wake-up call. Every person trying to control you is actually trying to control your frame. They want you emotional because emotional people cannot read the radar. They want you defensive because defensive people are predictable targets. But what if you do not react? What if you simply drop off their radar entirely? In a moment, I will show you the exact 3-second pause that makes manipulators panic. But first, you need to understand how to starve them of the one resource they need to survive. If you have the stomach to stop being the victim and start learning the mechanics of power, hit subscribe. Most people don't have the nerve for this. Let's see if you do. Principle 1. The tactical void. Let's look at a micro scene. You are in a meeting. A colleague says, "Well, I guess we'll just go with your idea, even though it's a bit basic." What do most people do? They immediately fill the silence. They say, "What do you mean basic? It's highly researched." Or they nervously laugh and say, "Well, simple is better, right?" Wrong. You just fired a flare into the fog, revealing your exact position. You showed them that their words hurt you. You showed them you require their validation. The mechanism here is simple. Manipulators use ambiguous insults as bait. They want you to do the heavy lifting of the argument. Here is the counter move. The tactical void. When they drop the bait, you do not bite. You do not defend. You look them dead in the eyes, hold eye contact, and let 3 seconds of pure, unbroken silence stretch out. 1, 2, 3. Then you say, "Are you finished?" Watch how the room recalibrates. The fog clears. Suddenly, they are the ones standing in the spotlight, holding an empty insult, looking foolish. They will scramble to fill the void. They will over-explain. They will backpedal. You win by refusing to play. But silence is only your first line of defense. What happens when they trap you in a direct accusation? I'll show you the Machiavellian flip for that next. Principle 2, the asymmetric agreement. When was the last time you won an argument by getting defensive? Never. You believe that if someone accuses you of something unfair, you must deny it to maintain your reputation. Denial is a confession of vulnerability. It proves you respect their judgment enough to fear it. Machiavelli understood that direct resistance creates friction, and friction creates heat. You do not want heat. You want cold, calculated maneuvering. The mechanism here is psychological judo. When they push, you do not push back. You pull them forward so hard they fall on their face, the asymmetric agreement. They say, "You're being too aggressive about this project." The trap, you say, "No, I'm not. I'm just passionate." You lose. You're defending. The shift, you agree with the premise but change the conclusion. You say, "You're absolutely right. I am aggressive about protecting our bottom line." Which part of the profit margin are you comfortable losing? You just took their weapon, agreed that it's sharp, and pointed it back at their throat. You didn't deny the trait, you reframed it as a lethal advantage. This is how you navigate the fog. You don't fight the smoke, you use it to mask your flank. But what happens when the attack isn't direct? What happens when it's a passive-aggressive game of office politics? That requires a different kind of radar. Principle 3, the frame interrogation. Let's run a 10-second diagnostic. Someone asks you a loaded question. Are you really going to wear that to the client meeting? Do you look down at your clothes? Do you explain your outfit? If you did, you failed the test. You just allowed them to be the judge, and you volunteered to be the defendant. The mechanism here is jurisdictional. He who asks the questions controls the frame. When you answer a loaded question, you accept the hidden insult baked into it. The modern example, you are on a date or in a social group, and someone says, "Why are you always so quiet?" They are trying to frame your composure as a defect. You do not answer the question, you interrogate the frame. Why does my silence make you uncomfortable? You just flipped the radar ping back to its source. You are no longer the one being examined. They are. Notice the feeling in your chest right now. That slight tension? That is the realization of how many times you've given your power away by answering questions you never should have entertained. If this is rewiring how you see power, and you dare to go deeper into the dark realism of human nature, hit like and subscribe. We are just getting started. In a moment, I will give you the single most important rule of verbal combat. A rule that will permanently alter how you handle disrespect. Principle 4, the jurisdictional pivot. This is the battlefield rule. Memorize it. Burn it into your psychology. Never argue inside a frame designed to shrink you. Change the court. When someone attacks your character, they are trying to drag you into a courtroom where they are the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Why would you ever take the stand in a rigged trial? Carl Jung talked about the shadow, the dark, repressed parts of our psyche. Most people project their shadow onto you. They accuse you of being selfish, arrogant, or difficult because they cannot handle their own insecurities. When you argue with them, you are validating their projection. The consequence: if you defend yourself, you shrink. The metaphor: you are fighting in their fog. You need to elevate to a higher altitude where the air is clear. When they say, you only care about yourself, do not list the things you've done for them. Change the court. Say, we aren't going to do this. If you want to have a productive conversation about our dynamic, I'm here. If you want to throw accusations to manage your own anxiety, you'll have to do that alone. Then, physically break eye contact and look at your watch. You just dismissed the judge. You closed the court. But beware. When you start doing this, people will escalate. I need to warn you about what happens next. Principle 5, the emotional blackout. Listen to me very carefully. People will react when you stop being controllable. When you stop feeding them the emotional data they are used to getting, they will experience withdrawal. And like any addict, they will lash out to get their fix. I was consulting for an executive last year. His business partner was a master manipulator who constantly used guilt to extract concessions. I told my client to implement the emotional blackout. The next time the partner threw a tantrum, my client gave him absolutely nothing. No anger, no apologies, just a blank, cold stare. The partner lost his mind. He screamed, he threatened, he slammed doors. Why? Because his remote control stopped working. Manipulators rely on your emotional exhaust to navigate. Your anger tells them they struck a nerve. Your tears tell them they have leverage. When you initiate an emotional blackout, you cut the power to their radar. They are raising their voice. They are throwing past mistakes in your face. They match the volume. They get pulled into the mud. You drop your voice to a near whisper. You relax your shoulders. You breathe slowly. You say, you are getting highly emotional. We will pick this up when you have control of yourself. Then you leave the room. You do not wait for their permission to leave. You do not wait for them to agree. You execute the boundary. You are probably feeling an impulse to click away right now. The idea of being this cold makes you uncomfortable. You want to be nice. Command yourself to stay. Your addiction to being nice is exactly what keeps you trapped in the fog. Next, I will show you how to use their aggression to secure your own victory. Principle 6, the decoy target. You think every battle must be won. Machiavellian strategy dictates that you should gladly lose a battle if it guarantees you win the war. Ego misdirection. People who need to dominate conversations are driven by a fragile ego. They need to feel like they defeated you. If you give them a meaningless victory, they become so drunk on their own perceived power that they leave their flank completely exposed. The decoy target. Let's say you are negotiating a contract or deciding on a major life choice with a difficult family member. You introduce a fake demand, something you do not actually care about, but you pretend is highly important to you. You fight for it. You let them push back. You let them argue. And then you sigh. You look defeated. You say, fine, you win on that point. I'll concede. They are so thrilled that they forced you to submit. They will completely ignore your actual objective. They will rubber stamp the rest of your terms because their ego has been fed. You let them have the illusion of control while you maintain actual control of the outcome. But to pull this off, you need a specific type of internal gravity. Without it, these techniques are just empty words. Principle 7, the gravity well. Why do some people command respect the moment they walk into a room, while others have to beg for it? It is not about looks. It is not about money. It is about reputational gravity. The battlefield rule. The person with the most emotional control becomes the heaviest object in the room. Everyone else must orbit them. When you are reactive, you are a lightweight asteroid, easily knocked off course by anyone's gravitational pull. When you are composed, when you do not rush to fill silences, when you do not laugh at jokes that aren't funny, when you do not explain yourself to people who disrespect you, you become a black hole. You become dense, heavy, unmovable. Stoic detachment combined with Machiavellian observation. You stop looking at people as threats, and you start looking at them as data points. When someone insults you, you don't think, "How dare they?" You think, "Fascinating." They are trying to establish dominance because they feel threatened by my presence. You observe them the way a scientist observes a rat in a maze. The consequence. When you look at people with analytical detachment, they feel it. They feel that you are untouchable. They will naturally begin to seek your approval because you are the only one not seeking theirs. This brings us to the final, most dangerous principle: the mirror. Principle 8. The mirror of Machiavelli. This is the ultimate test of your new architecture. A manipulator's greatest weapon is projection. They will accuse you of the exact crime they are committing. They will call you manipulative while they manipulate you. They will call you crazy while they gaslight you. The 10-second diagnostic, when you feel confused, dizzy, and suddenly guilty for something you didn't do, you are being projected upon. The mechanism, the mirror. You do not absorb their projection. You reflect it with cold, terrifying clarity. A toxic manager says, "You're not being a team player. You're creating a toxic environment by asking so many questions." It is interesting that you view a request for clarity as a threat to the team. Document the interaction and walk away. You did not defend your questions. You held up a mirror to their insecurity. You named the game. You are no longer in the fog of war. You are standing above it, watching them stumble in the dark. You do not learn this by nodding along. You learn this by deployment. Here is your exact protocol for the next 7 days. Step 1. The morning primer. Before you check your phone, remind yourself of your coordinates. You are entering a world where everyone wants your attention, your emotional reaction, and your compliance. Decide in advance that your baseline state is cold observation. Step 2. The 3-second rule. For the next 7 days, whenever someone asks you a question that makes you feel defensive, you must enforce a mandatory 3-second pause before opening your mouth. Count it in your head. Watch how uncomfortable they get. Step 3. The alliance audit. Look at your inner circle. Who benefits from your reactivity? Who gets a sense of power when you lose your temper? Identify the one person who constantly triggers your defense mechanisms. They are your new training dummy. Deploy the tactical void on them tomorrow. Step 4. The evening review. Ask yourself 2 questions every night. Where did I over-explain myself today? Whose frame did I accidentally step into? Write down the exact script you will use next time to change the court. Power is not about dominating others. True power is the absolute, unbreakable command over your own internal state. If you made it here, you're not like most people. Most people clicked away when I told them they were responsible for their own victimization. Most people want comfortable lies. You stayed for the cold truth. Use this to protect your dignity, not to exploit the weak. You now have the radar. You see the fog for what it is. Subscribe to the channel. In the next video, I will break down the exact psychological profiles of the 3 most dangerous personality types you will encounter in the workplace and how to neutralize them before they strike. Go to the comments right now. I want a commitment. Write this exact phrase, I control the frame. You are sitting in a room. Someone just threw a subtle insult disguised as a joke. Let them wait for a reaction that is never coming. Change the court.